Hey, what's up? It's Abithal, and we recently finished the tier, so I figured, hey, why not do a fun little thing and make a tier list of all the bosses in both Heart of Fear and ToES. I didn't really want to do one on Mogashin because Mogashin was a super easy 1 to 2 week clear. So we're going to start with Vizier Zorlok. So this fight, it's one of those fights that got a lot easier with landfall. By the way, this is all in 10-man heroic because I didn't do 25-man. This fight, the attenuation is a bit annoying, but once you experience it a couple times, it's not too bad at all. It is a little bit annoying because it's one of those bosses that randomly you get stunned, randomly you get converted, and I hate when that happens. And you really still feel like you want to save Lust. I'm going to put him in B tier. I wish I could put him in A. He did get a lot easier with landfall because you really don't experience that attenuation add the burn phase at the end, but he's a solid B tier. Tyak. I would love to put Tyak in S tier, but that 20% phase is just the absolute worst. But the boss is not too bad besides that. The tornadoes, they're really just nothing. The Tempest, or the spinny thing that he does, not really that big a deal. I'm going to put him in A. He's not too bad. He'd be in S if he didn't do that running phase. I just absolutely hate that. Garalon is a great boss. Even if you have to kite, it's not too bad. You really get to have some fun AoE on that boss. It feels a little long. I'm going to put him at top of A. I don't want to put him in S because I just don't feel like he's... I don't feel like he's an S tier boss. Mel'Jarak. S. Mel'Jarak on 10-man heroic, 25-man heroic. I've also seen he's pretty fun. On 10-man heroic, he is the best boss. Maybe we'll even fight this entire expansion because he's 2 minutes long. You just get to hold your cooldowns. You get to AoE. I play Elemental Shaman, so I'm just spamming Chain Lightning, waiting for my interrupt, and then the burn phase happens and I do 3 million DPS. So, super fun boss. He's easier on heroic than normal, I'm going to be honest about, but it is what it is. Amber Shaper. If there was an F tier, I would put Amber Shaper in F tier. Vehicle fights are not very fun. Vehicle fights where someone's randomly chosen, super not fun. It's a little bit of a messy boss because one little fuck up on Amber Shaper just wipes the entire group, and I hate it. And if you drop the stacks, it's basically a wipe. It's just not an enjoyable boss. I just do not enjoy it at all. So there's nothing redeemable about it, I'm going to be honest. Maybe you could say the burn at the end, but I seem to always get a beacon, so I have to run out and kite anyway, so whatever. Awful boss. Shek'Zir is either B or C. The only reason I don't want to put Shek'Zir in C is because you can one phase or one intermission the boss now, so he's not that bad. He just... Vizier's better. I'm going to put Shek'Zir in B. I don't think Shek'Zir is C. If you had to do 2 intermissions, Shek'Zir would be C or D. But just because you have to do 1 intermission nowadays, he's definitely a B tier. That's Heart of Fear. Let's move on to Terrace. Protectors. I'm going to primarily stick to Protectors Elite for this, which is where you do Cowlin last. Cowlin, whatever. It's not a bad boss, honestly. Nowadays, we're just one-shotting it. It does really put stress on your healers. I'm sure healers might put some of these fights differently. Like Garalon might not be an A tier fight for healers because you get interrupted with the crush when you have to heal people, and that can really mess with the pheromones people. But anyway, back to Protectors. Protectors is an A tier fight. It's not bad, and it gives 516 loot, which is just awesome. So I think I'm going to put it above Tyak too. Sulong is a really interesting fight because you have 2 ways to do it. You can either heal it or kill it, and I think most people heal it. You just 3 heal it, and you give the bursty people the orbs during their CDs, and people know how to play the breaths. And for our group, our healers are all around 150k, and then the orb healers at like 300k plus. So really fun fight. I'm going to put it in S. It's quick. It's hard to wipe, honestly. Even if you mess up the sunbeams, it's hard to wipe. The only way to really wipe on this boss is you don't dispel the boss. Leishi you're really dependent on the stack people in this, and you really have to CC the ads. I can't put them in S because mainly our group isn't like good enough yet to just always keep like 10 stacks on the boss or whatever. But it's a fun boss. I'm going to put it above Vizier. I don't think it's in line with these. You guys can give your opinion on all this stuff, by the way. And then Sha of Fear. Sha of Fear for us is like 12 minutes. I want to put Sha of Fear higher because it's not that bad. I might be biased because I'm an Ellie Shaman and my job is literally spam chain lightning in the last like 40% of the boss, which is awesome. By the way, had #1 Elemental Shaman 10-man Heroic Parse World on this fight, which is awesome, so I'm a little biased on it. I want to put it in B, but it's so long. It's so long, and I just don't like how the huddle is random. It means you can't really prepare for it by popping a CD. If you knew the huddles were coming out, you could argue B, because then you could pop a defensive. I can't validate a B for Sha of Fear. I think I have to go C. If this fight was 9 to 10 minutes, you bump it up. And maybe it'll get to that point. Maybe they'll nerf the boss. I don't really know what their plans are for that. They did that with Rag back in Pandaria Classic. And I think they did it with Deathwing too. But you can kind of see a pattern here. If you agree or disagree with this tier list, let me know. Let me know where you rank these bosses. And I'll see you guys later.